Hello everyone, I'm KDan and I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday afternoon or evening depending on where you are. Welcome to ChiliJack's Patch Notes 2.15 where I'm going to be going over some of the updates and changes that are coming to ChiliJack very soon. We're going to be running a playtest tomorrow as well as every Wednesday and Saturday, so if you're watching this in the future and you would like to playtest or just participate and watch from the sidelines, please let me know and let us know in the comments so that I can invite you to the Discord channel. But yeah, starting off, we have the overview of today's patch notes. We have the sets, which are new icons being added onto every card, as well as card balance changes. So sets are this new kind of like a way to organize all the cards. There are currently about 147 chilies in the game, and releasing all those cards out into the wild for new players to learn, it's going to be very difficult for a lot of them to just learn right away. So that's why sets is there. We're going to be dividing those 147 and 3 more coming soon into 5 groups of 30 cards, and these are going to be sets. And as you can see, the icons over here, these are new icons that are going to be added onto the bottom right side of every chili in the game. So what are sets? Each set's going to have, like I said, 30 chilies. Base game will actually include 2 sets, whereas all the 3 expansions that gets released alongside the base game will have just 1 set. Yeah, and a set is, again, like I said, contain 30 chilies. They're going to be sort of in line with thematics as well as the mechanics, and their primary goal is to be cohesive in terms of the gameplay, so that when players just rip open the box, everything just works and they would synergize with each other. And afterwards, you can do whatever you want with them. You can shuffle them into like one big pile of cards and play them. But yeah, it's mainly there so that players, when they learn ChiliJack for the first time, aren't super confused with really complex abilities and synergy-less abilities that just kind of, like break your hand. On the right side, you have this picture of a tuck box. Basically, a deck of cards would fit into this small tuck box here. Every expansion is going to come with 30 chilies and 2 additional dishes to add to your collection. So these dishes would obviously also fit the theme of the set as well. And yeah, we're gonna have a cool new cover art for each of these tuck boxes. This is just a draft picture that I just drew up in like 5 minutes. It's not actually what the tuck box is gonna look like, so don't worry. So yeah, here is the base game. So part 1, this is gonna be the first 30 cards that you're gonna ever see when you open up the cards of the base game. We have the city themed fundamental set. And the names are not completely final, but I'm currently just thinking about these as like city chilies. So you have Chili Guy, Hacker Chili, Hobo Chili, and the difficulty rating for most of the chilies abilities in this set are actually pretty easy. Like difficulty rating, I set down there as 1, and you would basically read the ability and you would know what that does. You play it and you expect that thing to happen. That's basically what is going to be in the base game. It was actually really cool when I kind of went back and was allocating all these chilies into different sets, that they all sort of fit into the sets, and there was actually like a good number of chilies that fit into that set and had the mechanics that matches it as well. So it just felt super natural, and yeah, just really cool to see all these chilies belonging to certain sets together. The other half, before we go into the other half, this is like a brief kind of like an overview of chilies that you'll see in the base set. As you can see, a lot of them are just chilies dressed up as like average day job chilies, like Professor Pepper, you got Super Chili, Trenchcoat Chilies, Hobo Chili, and then you also have these like Chili Vision, Stray Chili Cat, things that you would see in like a modern day, maybe even Laser Cannon too. And you have like the staples like the Banana Pepper in the back over there, Glitch Chili in there, Pot of Peppers. These are very easy to understand abilities that also fits the thematic perfectly. So yeah, that's city chilies for you. Next, the part 2 of the base game is going to be filled with fantasy themed chilies. So these are going to be like the medieval stuff like Chili Dragon, Chili Great Sword, Chili Summoner, and their special mechanic that I bring with the set is the tucking ability. So tucking is a mechanic that a lot of new players tend to have trouble learning, and so putting any chilies that have tucking into this set allows me to basically tell players hey, if you really are like new to the game and you want to have a very like smooth experience without having to learn too much about things, try just playing with the set 1, and then you can try, shuffling in the set 2 as well. And I think that's going to make players not have to learn about the complexities of the mechanic of tucking first. And yeah, I think it's going to be a smooth experience. And yeah, the difficulty rating for this set is set to be 2, because a lot of these abilities, like the Chili Summoner for example, they have like 2 parts to their abilities. So when you read the first part, you do the first part, it takes a little bit of time to kind of understand how the second part would work. And I think it's like a nice difficulty ramping for a lot of players to to get to know set 1 and 2 together, but after playing set 1 first, or if they feel like they're like good at board games and tabletop card games, then they can just mix them up together. And yeah, these are the chilies that you see in the set 2. And by the way, these pictures are not showing you everything that's going to be in the set. Some of the chilies are kind of hidden in the back. And the list is not final either. Some chilies from set 1 could go into set 2, as I do balance changes and updates in the upcoming next 4 weeks before we ship out a prototype. I'm going to be making these like small changes to allocate chilies into different sets. But yeah, in set 2 we have chilies like the KDan Cultist, Chili Greatsword, Witch Chili, Chili Knight in the back over there, Chili Dragon. These are really like magical fantasy kind of themed chilies, as well as the 3 chili dogs. So Flomi, Chuggy, and Chimba. These are like the mythical chili dogs that are actually just like our real life pets that we decided to add into the game. Since all of them use a tuck ability, I thought it would be very nice to just include them all into set 2 as well. Yeah, and you can see in the back over there on the right, Samurai Shishido. I don't know if you can even see this, because I realized I'm standing in front of some of these cards right now. Samurai Shishido is a pretty simple card, but because it fits the fantasy theme better than City Chilies, I just decided to put it into set 2. But it could move into set 1 too, because it's like a pretty simple ability. So yeah, just letting you know that things can change. Now we're gonna start going into the expansion chilies, and this is where the difficulty rating starts to really ramp up. So Luck and Loaded is our first expansion that's going to be coming out. This is the most beginner friendly expansion, and also the potentially most chaotic and fun for a lot of new players. If they don't want to learn like the complex game mechanics and they just want to watch something explode and have fun, this is the expansion that they're going to want to buy. This has the random abilities like the Chili Coin, Orangili, as well as the face down chili abilities like the Masked Chili. And majority of the cards in this set are heavily like casino, gambling, fun, just lots of like shiny cards in there. That the difficulty comes from you trying to understand the probability of something good or bad happening. And I think it's gonna be overall just like a really good package to buy if you love playing party games. And this is like, yeah, this is the party game package right here. So as you can see, we have a lot of like Ace is actually something that I might bring back into set 1, but the theme is so perfect for the set 3, so I'm keeping it in here for now. But Chess Set, Orangili, there's a lot of draw cards in there, like Diggy Chili in there, Fisherman. All these chilies really make you think about what you want to draw, or what you yeah, like the chili keys in there, for example. If you have a huge hand, you can win the game. Choo Choo Chili is kind of back in there as well. This is like a huge disruption kind of chili that just summons something random. So yeah, summoning or serving new chilies onto your plate, that's like a huge theme here as well. So yeah, it's really random and chaotic and fun. And next is the 4th set, is actually our 2nd expansion, the Battle Blitz. By the way, these names are not final, but these are just kind of what I'm going with right now. Battle Blitz chilies are surprise chilies, more disruption, and they're fighting themed. So as you can see, I actually decided to move all the surprise chilies out of the base game and actually put them into an expansion together. And same thing happened with flavor chilies that I'll show later as well. But basically, when I noticed that a lot of new players are learning the game for the first time, and I try to introduce them to all 4 types of chilies at once, a lot of them seem to get very overwhelmed. So I actually realized that it's better to allocate all the types, the new types of chilies, into the expansions, And in that case, if someone doesn't want to play with flavored chilies, they could just not play that set. Or if someone doesn't want to play with the surprise chilies, they don't have to play with this set. But yeah, this set is all about take that moment where you can just bring something out of your hand out of nowhere and disrupt your opponent. And likewise, you're putting a lot of just really chaotic disruptions into players' hands and their arsenal, and it's gonna lead to a lot of fun back and forths, and that's why this difficulty rating is actually set to 4. So these are some of the chilies that are in the game. Some of these are my favorites. You can see the ChiliJack, the Plague Doctor, Chili Puppet, Tactical Chili, Jesus is back there as well. So again, all the surprise chilies are in this set, and lots of disruption where you get to mess with your opponent. You have some really crazy win condition cards in here, like the Forbidden Chili book or the Yeti Chili even. So yeah, these are gonna be again really fun to add. But if you don't like disruption, maybe this isn't the set for you. You might want to give it a try though. And last but not least is the Kitchen Chaos. These are difficulty rating 5. Possibly the hardest chilies to really make the best use of, and I still need to test a lot more of these cards as well. But basically, these are flavored chilies, lots of combos involved with their flavored abilities, as well as their cooking themes. So lots of food, lots of trashing them, tucking them to kind of consume them, drawing them. Yeah, so what basically flavored chilies are. Flavored chilies, they're actually very difficult to explain to new players because they don't have abilities that you can oftentimes just trigger by grilling them or letting them get to the dining phase and doing the thing. They rather activate their abilities when something else triggers them. So usually you'll see things like when this is trashed by something, or when this is served, or when this is tucked under something, because they're food. So you often want to combo them with some other chilies from your hand, or something that you just plate onto your grill, or maybe even another food triggers them. So Chef Chili, for example, would do that. We showed this card in the previous update, and I think he's a really, really cool card that enables foods together. And yeah, these are some of the cooking themed chilies, and as well as really cute / chaotic. You see TNT Chili back there, Chilichanga, Chiligator. All these cards technically have really chaotic, but also trashing synergies and cards drawing. So there's a little bit of disruption in there as well. Yeah, but lots of flavorful, flavored chilies are going to be in the set. And the moment you've shuffled this into your base game or any game, they're all going to be basically able to activate each other and lead to crazy combos, lots of card draws. It's going to be a lot of fun. So those are kind of the 5 sets that we have in the game. We still obviously have a lot to tune here and there, but I'm really happy with where this is turning out, and I'm going to be uploading these onto the Tabletop Simulator mod tonight so that we can play test them tomorrow. And if you're watching this in the future, when you load into Tabletop Simulator, these are the 5 sets you're going to see. The logos, in the icons, could change as well. Nothing is really final until we are actually able to ship the game, but yeah, look forward to that. And finally, let's wrap this video up with a quick card balance changes as usual. There's not that many today, but still I think it's important to go over all these 6 changes that we have coming to the chilies in our game. So starting with Steely Chili. Steely Chili's actually getting a slight rework. Upon playtesting with this Steely Chili that had 6 heat, which is pretty good, but the ability to sometimes steal and sometimes not was something that felt a little bit like a miss. The previous reason why this Steely Chili had a checking condition to see a random chili from an opponent's hand was so that players would learn more about their opponent's hand and potentially gain information about them. But that's something that we actually tried to pull away from since the last patch. So if you remember, last patch we actually tried to get rid of a lot of the reveals before draws. So now we don't have to do that. We could just straight up steal. So now Steely Chili, to make up for the abilities, sort of like a buff, we actually have to lower the heat a little bit, but now you're directly stealing a random chili from another player's hand. This is more powerful than a Samurai Shishido's ability to directly trash something, because you're also gaining a chili. but we also think that it's going to be not as powerful since your opponent knows that you have that card as well. But I think this is going to be really good if you expect your opponent to have a way to maybe send over their goat or something like that, or maybe a win condition that could help them buff up their one true chili or something like that. So yeah, I think Steely's gonna just feel really good as well because the ability will now always trigger. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some hand size synergies with Steely's ability as well. Next up we have the Chili Designer nerf. This is actually kind of interesting, and oh, by the way, I just realized I might be covering up some of the text in the because of my Chili Designer's model, so I apologize. I'm gonna try to read over all the abilities in the video. Chili Designer, basically used to reveal the top 3 chilies of the deck, copy the grilling ability of one, then trash the rest. This ability on paper doesn't seem too bad. It's kind of like the Chili Summoner, but Chili Summoner is okay because you're directly just putting something down onto your plate, and you only care about the heat. This one actually copies the grilling ability. So because there are technically 3 choices and they all can be grilling abilities, you have to think about every single interaction. We decided to remove one of the options, so now it's top 2 chilies of the deck. And I think it's gonna be making Chili Designer feel slightly more clunky, obviously, especially if you're including the flavored chilies or surprise chilies into the mix, or there's just a lot of dining chilies up there. Yeah, Chili Designer might feel clunky, so we might bump up the heat by 1 in the future if the feedback isn't too well, sitting too well with Chili Designer's nerf. But I think this is going to be overall better for the game because players will not be as, like overwhelmed and spending too much time making choices. And Chili Guy is actually getting a rework. Can you guess what he's being reworked to? That's right, he's turning into a grilling chili. We really want Chili Guy to be in the base set of like set number 1, but flavored chilies are actually not allowed to be in set 1. So having a grilling ability that just says nothing happens, basically like place this onto your plate, that's the new ability. I think that will basically be the same thing, but we get to kind of keep the same rule to allow the allocation of Chili Guy into set 1. Next, we actually have Straight Chili Cat, and this one's I'm kind of upset about it. Straight Chili Cat is a surprise chili. We actually have to have Straight Chili Cat in set 1 because we're using him in the cover art of the set, and yeah, he's just iconic. I really want him to be in set 1, but he can't be a surprise chili. So we kind of changed the ability to now be the only chili in the game that could tuck under another player's chili and potentially overheat them, but it's at 1 heat. So it's a very, very weak chili that could potentially be very strong on the last turn. And I think just this card existing will actually maybe make players not want to go for the perfect heat. And this is going to be kind of controversial. I know a lot of players hate losing to overheating strategies, but this card, I think one of needs to exist. Kind of like how the Goat exists and Spice Mancer exists. There's a lot of ways to win the game, and sometimes overheating your opponent on a very rare occasion I think should be okay. But yeah, everyone should always have to fear that maybe I shouldn't go to the perfect 21 because my opponent might hold on to a Straight Chili Cat and use it at the last turn. So I might actually go to 20 heat in case they play the Chili Cat and I get to the perfect heat. So yeah, it's all going to be in the mind games. Next up we have Buff Chili. So Buff Chili's ability was recently reworked, and when we actually play tested it, it felt really clunky. So it says choose another player, they must tuck a chili from their hand under this chili. And that basically allowed your opponent to tuck anything they wanted under this chili, which could be a cosmic, which will just make you lose a game, or like a negative heat, negative 10 Yeti or something like that. So playing something that doesn't give you the control over what you can do is not fun. And we thought of the simple way to just simplify the ability to get stronger, which is Buff Chili. So we brought it down by 1 heat. 3 heat now. Tuck a random chili from another player's hand under this. So yeah, directly attacking the opponent's hand just like the Steely, but now we're just tucking a random one. So there's always this like fun aspect of stealing something random and putting it under. We don't know what we're gonna get, but we're hoping to get a little bit bigger. Average heat of chilies is about 3.5, 3.4 to be exact. So this will come out to be around 6 or 7 on a good day. But sometimes you're gonna also just get rid of their cards that they really needed. So I think this is gonna be overall a really good card. Potentially too strong, but I think the randomness makes it so that you can't really play this on the last turn or the late game phases, because this is gonna be too powerful. So you have this like disruption, that thing that is really good in the earlier turns, but not too good on the late turns. And I think it's okay to have early game chilies like this exist a lot more. And finally, we have the glitchily declunkification. It's a new word that I just invented. Glitchili's ability is absolutely loved, but the ability can sometimes fizzle when you're drawing the top 3 chilies of the deck, and they're all different types of chilies, like dining, surprise, and flavored. So I thought of simplifying the way the ability works so that the ability would always trigger, and you would always get to trigger the 3 grilling abilities, and that is reveal and trash chilies from the deck until you copy 3 grilling abilities. Technically, I guess this should say until this chili copies 3 grilling abilities, but basically you're gonna be trashing the top of the deck until you can find 3 grilling abilities. And this says a lot of, actually this is gonna be in the set 1 where you have mostly grilling and dining. So if you're just playing set 1 and set 2, this will always trigger like 80% of the time. And if you shuffle out other cards, you'll trash a lot of flavored chilies that sometimes have trash effects on them as well. So this is gonna be very interesting. It's definitely a buff. I think glitch chili will just activate a lot more, but that also doesn't mean that that's better for you. You know, it just means that you get to see more things happen. So ultimately, I think this is gonna make glitch chili more fun and fair to play with. And hopefully less words as well, because I did get rid of 1 sentence or 1 line of text, which is always really nice. And yeah, that was the end of the patch notes today. I know that was a lot of information to take in, but I hope that once you get to actually play this tomorrow or anytime beyond, it's just gonna make sense and it's gonna feel really good to play with. So thank you so much for watching the video. I hope that you have a lot of fun. And again, if you would like to play test the game, please check out the description below for a link, or maybe if I didn't post a link there, always feel free to message me. I'll be ready to give you an invite code into our Discord server so you can join our community and play test with us. And I'll be hosting tournaments as well. So if you would like to participate, please check out our Discord channel. All right, that's enough for tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.